Hi everyone, my name is Juan Leva and this is my reading reflection for English 1301. I'm going to be talking about how my reading and writing skills have developed throughout this course, especially through two assignments and readings I've done, which are How to Read Like a Writer by Mike Bunn and Changing Your Mindset by Revision by L.L. Irvin. So these two readings helped me see that reading and writing were connected in ways I didn't really understand before. They also helped me improve some of my student learning objectives like critical thinking, written communication, and personal responsibility, and in writing behaviors like revision and feedback, and reading and the writing process. So I used to read to get the main idea or to finish an assignment fast, but after reading Mike Bunn's How to Read Like a Writer, I realized that if I pay attention to how the text is written, I could actually improve my writing myself. Mike Bunn says that readers should think about why an author makes certain choices, and I started doing that when reading essays and articles. So this helped me build stronger critical thinking skills because instead of asking what a writer is saying, I started asking myself why and how. It also improved my written communication since I started applying the same techniques I saw in other writers into my own writing. For example, I started paying more attention to my openings and transitions, and I try to make my writing flow more naturally. I also learned that reading can be an active process, something you participate in instead of just consume. This reading connects a lot with the writing and reading process behavior because it taught me to slow down and analyze the moves that the writers make. It's like learning from examples instead of just rules. Before this class, I saw reading and writing as two different skills, but now I understand that they build on each other. So reading helps me write and writing helps me read better. So the second reading that changed how I see writing is Changing Your Mindset by Revision by L.L. Irvin. So this reading is focused on how students often see revision as something negative, like it means they failed or something. So I'm not gonna lie, I used to feel that way too. But so whenever I got feedback on a paper, I thought it meant I didn't do a good job. But Irvin made me realize that revision isn't about failure, it's about growth. Revision is really a part of the learning process, and it's what turns an okay draft into something strong. I connected this to the revision and feedback writing behavior because I learned how to actually use feedback instead of just reacting to it. Before, I used to just fix the grammar and turn it back in, but now I look at the comments more deeply and try to understand how to make my ideas clearer or my argument stronger. This also connects to personal responsibility because revising requires honesty with yourself and being willing to admit that your draft needs work and being open to improve on it. Irvin's reading made me realize that nobody makes a perfect draft on the first time. Even professional writers go through many drafts before submitting their final draft. And that really helped me be more patient with myself as a writer and see feedback as something that helps me out, not something that criticizes me. Both of these readings really helped me build confidence as a student. They showed me that reading and writing aren't about perfection, but more about process. And I think that's something that I'll take with me even beyond this class. Now when I read, I try to see what I can learn from the writer, and when I write, I see it as something I can shape and improve through time. They also help me engage more with the critical thinking and inquiry objectives because I started asking myself better questions about my writing, about what I read, and even about my learning process. For example, now I ask, what can I take from this reading that could make my own writing more engaging? Or how can I use feedback to make writing more clear for the reader? Looking back, these readings helped me realize how much I've grown, not just as a writer, but also as a thinker. I've learned that good writing doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being curious, thoughtful, and willing to revise. So to end my reflection, I still have two questions. First, how can I balance creativity with academic writing? In other words, how can I keep my own voice while still following structure and rules? And second, how can I keep improving my reading habits when so much of what we read now It's digital and fast-paced. Thank you for listening to my reading reflection for English 1301.